Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you notice, my truck looks a little bit different. I actually just got done installing an Icon Vehicle Dynamics Stage 2 lift and front upper control arms. See the coilovers in there. But like a lot of people, when they do these lifts, I actually put 35s on the truck. Probably a little bigger than I should have, but you know, like a lot of other people, having some tire rubbing issues. So this video, we're going to try and fix that. Now you might be able to see this area back here, kind of right here in this corner. I got it marked out. It's kind of where the tire at full lock is hitting the rear of the fender liner. And also, you can see a better shot up here. This is where it really seems to hit. So I'm thinking about either, if I can, just maybe taking this piece off completely. If not, I'm just going to try and trim it out and cut this piece off and kind of level it off a little bit up front. So we'll see what works best. Alright, so there are plenty of hidden screws in here. There's one kind of hiding behind this bracket under the fog light that I can't get to. So far I've taken these 4 bolts off. There seems to be at least one more hiding in here, so I'm going to see if I can maybe grab one of my little ratcheting wrenches or something like that and get it out of there. Alright guys, so I've decided that since this piece, there's too many hidden little bolts somewhere up in there that I don't want to mess with. Some of these are really hard to get to anyway, especially this little 4th one right here. On the other side, I still haven't been able to get it out. So what I'm going to do is, since I've got each side loosened up, I'm just going to use that. I'm going to break out my Dremel and just see if I can cut along this and just trim out this little corner piece right here. Alright guys, you can see where I made the first cut. I did my best to clean it up as much as I can with the Dremel. Just took out this little notch here, kind of followed it around the line of the little valence piece. I already tested it out. I know the tire won't hit that now, at least not as it's sitting still. But back here at the rear end of the fender liner, you can see where the tire's pinching it. Again, this is just sitting parked, so obviously I wanted to have a little room to move up and down. I already marked out here with a Sharpie where it's kind of hitting the fender flare, and I've got another mark further back here, as you can see where the tire kind of scuffs on the actual fender liner itself. So it should be all pretty much empty space behind it. So we'll take out a little piece here and we'll see how it works. Alright guys, so I trimmed both sides. You can see it's still pretty close. This, I kind of marked a spot where I think I might come back a little later on and trim that out a little more maybe when I get back. But I trimmed both sides. There's a chunk that I took out of that side. So now I'm going to take it for a test drive, go run the block, do some full lock turns, and see if I missed anything. Alright, so side to side. It's not making any noise right now. Before, just doing the wheel back and forth, you'd hear really bad on that side, on the passenger side where it was rubbing a lot. So now I'm just going to go around the block, see how it does. Unfortunately, I didn't even get out of my driveway before I realized it's still doing it. So I'm actually have to get my wife to come out here and see if she'll hold the wheel a little tighter and see maybe what's still hitting and take a little bit more off. Alright guys, so I've got one spot on each side. So on the rear, it looks like this spot right here is still hitting at full lock. So I'm gonna trim out this little chunk. And then on this other side, where was it? I think it was actually the same on both sides. Just a little bit was hitting on each one. So I might trim that a little more. And then actually, let's see, this part's still really close. So I might trim this bottom piece a little more on this side, but again, we'll see how it does. All right guys, let's see if we can make it out of the driveway this time. Let me go full lock here in a second. Still hitting a fair amount in some places. I've got a pretty steep driveway, so I also know the truck articulating a little bit, it's probably hitting some spots that when the truck's sitting level, you know, it's not hitting them. So I'm just gonna drive around a little bit. You know, as long as it actually scuffs up the little fender flares a little bit, I can tell, you know, where I still need to trim a little more. All right guys, so we're pretty much running out of daylight, but it seems like most of the rubbing seems to be gone. I did trim these front areas a little more. I noticed, again, as I was coming out of my driveway, it's a little steep at an angle. But turning out, it seems that my tires were kind of catching right here on these corners, especially on the other side. So you can see I just trimmed these up a little more, give a little more clearance. Kind of running out of daylight, so that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. If I have to do any more trimming, I'll just come back later and again see what spots still seem to be hitting and just go little bit by bit so I don't take too much off. But it's a little bit of a hack job now, so I'll definitely have to clean it up over time. So if you guys like this video, leave a comment, hit the like button, let me know what you think, and subscribe and stick around for more. Y'all take care.